Today's a great victory. It's a great victory for Sean Combs. It's a great victory for the jury system. You saw that the Southern District of New York prosecutors came at him with all that they had. They're not stopping, but one thing stands between all of us and a prison, and that is a jury of 12 citizens. And we had a wonderful jury. They listened to every word, and they got the situation right, or certainly right enough. They acquitted him of the sex trafficking, which he was absolutely innocent of. They acquitted him of the racketeering conspiracy that he was absolutely innocent of, and all of the components to it. The kidnapping, he was innocent of that. The arson, he was innocent of that. The obstructing justice, he was innocent of that. And that is no longer just me saying that. That is the verdict of our jury. So today's a great day. Today is a win. Today is a victory of all victories for Sean Combs and our legal team.
Where's the baby are you? Where's the baby are you? Is it in your eyes?
We need the world to speak up for Britney Spears. This bullshit has got to end. We're sick of it. I'm sick of it.
Are you surprised by this verdict?
What's the verdict? I just got here. I'm running late.
What's up, good people? What's up, fam? So today I'd like us to talk about something huge that has been making waves in the United States of America justice system, and that is something that has everyone buzzing. The case of none other than Sean Combs, famously known as P. Diddy. Ain't no party like Diddy party, you know that, my people. For months, the legal world and indeed the entire globe has been captivated by the intense legal battle surrounding Diddy. The air has been thick with anticipation, rumor, and serious accusations. We've all seen the headlines, heard the whispers, and watched as this saga unfolded in the hallowed halls of justice. It's a story that truly brings the phrase, and I quote, innocent until proven guilty, and of course to the front. So reminding us of the foundational principles of US legal system, how it's built upon. Now let us dive into the core of what happened. So prosecutors from the Southern District of New York, a formidable force in the legal landscape, essentially came at him with everything they had. They were relentless, presenting a cascade of severe charges that could have fundamentally altered the course of his life. Right? Are you getting me? I hope everyone is at par with me right now. So these weren't just minor infractions. We're talking about incredibly serious allegations that carry life-altering consequences. Specifically, Diddy faced charges of sex trafficking, a truly heinous accusation that strikes at the heart of human dignity. He was also accused of racketeering conspiracy, which suggests involvement in an organized criminal enterprise. And within that broader racketeering charge, there were additional components that painted a vivid and often disturbing picture of the allegations against him: kidnapping, arson, and obstructing justice. Each of these accusations individually is profoundly serious, but together they presented a truly daunting legal challenge for Sean Combs and his defense system. The sheer weight of these charges and the high-profile nature of the individual involved meant that the eyes of the nation, and particularly the hip-hop community, were fixed on this trial. Well, it was not just a legal proceeding, it felt like a cultural moment, a test of celebrity, power, and accountability. However, and this is where the story takes a significant turn, a jury of 12 ordinary citizens, diverse in their backgrounds and experiences, stepped into this high-stakes environment. This jury wasn't swayed by public opinion, media, speculation, or the sheer volume of accusations. No, not at all. They were tasked with a singular crucial duty: to listen, to observe, and to deliberate based solely on the evidence presented in that courtroom. And they did just that. They listened to every single word, every piece of testimony, every argument from both the prosecution and the defense side. They meticulously examined the evidence, sifting through what must have been an overwhelming amount of information. Okay, and in the end, after a careful consideration, this jury delivered a verdict that asserted Sean Combs absolute innocence on most of the charges. Seriously? Well, this outcome, has emphasized by his legal team, is not just a mere opinion or a wishful thought. It is the official verdict of the jury, a decisive statement from the very foundation of America's judicial system. It's a testament to the power of the jury system, which in its essence stands as a critical safeguard between individuals and potential incarceration. It ensures that no one, regardless of their fame or fortune, can be simply swept away by accusations without a fair impartial review of the facts. The verdict confirmed his innocence regarding the more severe allegations he faced. Sex trafficking, I've mentioned that, the overarching racketeering conspiracy and its related components of kidnapping, assault, obstructing justice, and what have you. This was a monumental moment, a triumphant day for Sean Combs and his dedicated legal team. It marked a significant victory, a hard-fought win that affirmed his innocence in the eyes of the law on these profound charges. Now, it's important to understand that while this was a sweeping victory on many fronts, the jury did make specific legal distinctions. Their outcome wasn't entirely black and white. The individual, Sean Combs, was found guilty of what's been referred to as the Mann Act, specifically the transportation of someone for prostitution. This indicates that while the jury did not find the evidence sufficient for the more severe charges, they did determine that he engaged in the act of transporting individuals across states' lines for the purpose of engaging in prostitution. Alright, so this is a critical nuance, and it highlights careful deliberation of the jury. They clearly drew a line between transporting individuals for such purposes and the much graver accusations of sex trafficking. Well, the distinction is significant because sex trafficking, as we know it, is a very serious charge that carried a potential minimum sentence of 15 years and indeed up to a life sentence in prison. The jury's not guilty verdict on the sex trafficking charges indicates that they did not believe the prosecution proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the elements of sex trafficking were mere, they were met. And furthermore, he was also found not guilty on the racketeering conspiracy charge. This was another win for Combs, as racketeering conspiracy itself carries a potential sentence of up to a life in prison. The jury's decision on this account suggests they did not find him to be at the head of a widespread criminal enterprise as alleged by the prosecution in the specific context. To be absolutely clear, the information from the sources indicates there were two guilty verdicts returned. Specifically, Combs was not found guilty on account 3, guilty on account 5. These guilty verdicts, as mentioned, relate to the Mann Act, which is defined as the transportation to engage in prostitution. This mixed verdict demonstrates the complex nature of the trial and the meticulous approach of the jury. While he was cleared of the most severe allegations, the findings on the Mann Act charges show that the jury did not find him responsible for the certain actions related to transportation of individuals for prostitution. This is not a complete exoneration, but it's certainly a vastly different outcome that what was initially presented by the prosecution regarding that more severe charges, right? But what do Americans, especially Black Americans, say about the Diddy escapade? Stay tuned. Let us watch these clips that I've compiled for you, and I'll be back with my further commentary to analyze each one of them.
I'm going to say this, ladies. Any man that is celebrating Diddy being free, get away from them. Please get away from them really quickly, because any man that celebrates Diddy being free after everything that man has done to Cassie and other women around him, including men, something's wrong with y'all. Mentally, physically, spiritually, they're all fucked up. Stay away from those men. Any man in the public that celebrates this man walking free, no matter what the charges were, watching that man walk free and celebrating him walking free has an issue. And in that person's mind, in that man's mind, he's going to think he can do the same shit and get away with it. At the same time, any woman cheering and happy that Diddy is walking free, get the fuck away from her as well. Because obviously she's been through some shit in her life and she doesn't know anything but that lifestyle. Or she's a groupie. And there's so much wrong with being a groupie at this day and age. And you too damn grown to be a fucking groupie. Especially of a man that has been abusive to women majority of his life. Get away from them, y'all.
Bro, some of y'all are weird. You're celebrating Diddy by spraying baby oil on yourselves. Like, what the heck are we doing? You're weird. And he's not found guilty out of 3 of the 5, right? So 2 of the charges still stick on him. And for those two charges, right, he faces a maximum of 10 years. So he could very well be in jail for 20 years. What the heck are we celebrating for? And that's probably not going to happen. But he could very well get some time. With time served, and then maybe some possibility of parole, or just nothing but probation. But y'all are celebrating early like it's the end. And then some of y'all are saying you're gonna be at the next Diddy party in celebration of him, knowing darn well that the dang Diddy parties be messed up and it be a whole bunch of wicked stuff. You guys are weird, bro. How is this a win? How is this a win? But y'all, some of y'all be celebrating the wrong things. But spraying baby oil on yourselves is absolutely diabolical. I can't take some of y'all serious sometimes, bro. Some of y'all be an embarrassment. I ain't gonna lie. Some of y'all be an embarrassment, fam.
Breaking news, Diddy's bail was denied. So he will be incarcerated until his official sentencing. Again, the sentencing can go in many which ways. He can do the full 10 years for each count for, taking 304s across state lines. Or he can do a couple years. Maybe he'll do a couple years at probation. Or he might walk free. We never know. But as the story is right now, he was denied bail. So we'll just have to sit and wait until sentencing to see what happens to the diddler.
P. Diddy, the diddler, big diddles. You got off, baby. Bigly. You're free. I don't think you're going to do any real time. Piddle diddle, as it were. Little diddle. Never hurt anybody. Little diddle never hurt anybody. It's never have. Bigly. They're saying that Diddy was found not guilty. Mostly not guilty, partially. Not guilty, some guilty, not all the way guilty. They found me guilty on 34 felony counts. I thought that was pretty incredibly weird because I am married to an immigrant. I'm against immigration. Bigly. I'm against felons and I am a felon. Bigly. I'm against immigration and felons and I am also a felon who is married to an immigrant. So take that into consideration and under advisement. They said that P. Diddy was trafficking. They said that he was bringing girls across the state lines. And I say, why bring sand to the beach? There's girls everywhere. You can just get a girl when you get there and pick her up and take her home and grab them by the... You guys know where I like to grab them. Bigly, I'll do that. I do grab them there, wherever they need to be grabbed. It's incredible. They're saying that they just wanted to expose his freakiness. They didn't even want to prosecute him. They just wanted everybody to know how big of a freak the freak-offs were. And I thought... it's so unfortunate because a lot of us are freaks. A lot of us, when we're wealthy, we do freaky things. If you guys are going to judge us for doing freaky things, don't give us the money. The money, the moolah. You get bored after a while. Bigly. You only do so much with one broad. Then you need 2 dames. Then you need 6. Then you need a billy goat. It's really weird. There's a progression here that happens. It happens quite often, and you guys aren't used to it. You don't know about it because you're the poors. Poors don't know about it. Blacks. Bigly, you should. Might be a little controversial, and I couldn't care less about it being controversial, but there's a lot of bad people who are in this country. Some of them have 1, maybe 2 incidental crimes and 34 full felonies, but they're very bad people, super bad people that are in this country. An old president, maybe an incompetent president, allowed them to come into this country, and now they're here in this country wreaking havoc, going to work every day, paying their bills, taking care of their families back home, and we don't like that. We don't need that type of crime around here where you're working super hard and then sending money back to your family. We don't enjoy that at all. Get those bad people out of here ASAP, immediately. They said ASAP means immediately, right away, and we want those people out of here ASAP. Rocky. No Rihanna. Rihanna's a beautiful girl. She is beautiful. We do love her. We were still waiting for the album, Riri. Whenever you're ready, at your earliest convenience, we can do that. Bigly. Bigly, you should do that.
There is no way, after all the evidence that has been given, after all the testifiers that have been called to the stand, after everything that has happened since the start of this trial down till now, and the jurors found him not guilty on 3 counts. What were the jurors smoking? Can we actually just deep that Diddy actually has a chance of walking out free? Because bearing in mind, he's already served like time already. So, you know, the judge might decide to be like, oh, you're going to get out on bail, you know, time served, and you're going to be on house arrest for like a couple years with like a couple more restrictions. But do you realize how crazy it is with all the 4K evidence that we've seen? And the jurors have come out saying that he's not guilty on certain things. First things first, that's absolutely diabolical. Secondly, Brian still might be the best. When I say the best, I might be the best lawyer I've ever seen in my entire life. Bearing in mind, this is the same lawyer that has had Young Thug free. This is the same lawyer that has done countless things for countless people. Like, it's so crazy how good he is. And it's so crazy because the prosecutors are pushing for him to get 20 years on the 2 counts that he was guilty for. But I won't lie to you, I don't even think he's going to get 20 years. He might just get like 3 years and then community service or suspended sentence.
Good people, I hope you all are doing great and welcome back to the channel. So, those clips certainly gave us a lot to think about. This day, the public reaction to these legal outcomes, particularly within the Black American community, has been nothing short of fascinating and at times deeply perplexing. There is a palpable sense of celebration among some, almost a carnival-like atmosphere, which is truly baffling when you consider the full picture of this whole scenario. We've heard about people engaging in incredibly bizarre acts like spraying themselves with baby oil in what they perceive as a win for Diddy. I hope we've watched the clip, the very first clips in this video. And some even talking about planning to attend future Diddy parties as a form of celebration. This kind of reaction is not just perplexing. In many ways, it's deeply troubling. Let us be honest with ourselves. Diddy is not fully exonerated. While he was acquitted of some of the most severe charges, and that is a significant legal victory, it's crucial to remember that he still faces substantial legal consequences. The sources that we've confirmed that he was found guilty on 2 specific accounts relating to the transportation of individuals for prostitution. For these 2 charges, he could face a maximum of 10 years for each account, potentially totaling to 20 years in prison. Now, it's true that the legal system is complex and wide, and he might not serve the full 20 years. He could potentially receive time served, parole, or probation. But, okay, the fact remains, this is far from a complete victory. Celebrating prematurely when a potential 2-decade prison sentence hangs in balance seems incredibly misguided. Why? And frankly, a disservice to the seriousness of the situation. Furthermore, I want us to address the nature of these parties that some are so eager to revive. The sources describe them as messed up and a whole bunch of wicked. Right? This is not just a casual entertainment. There are serious implications about the environment and activities that allegedly took place at these gatherings. To celebrate what appears to be a problematic lifestyle, even after such intense legal scrutiny, raises profound questions about a judgment and values. Okay, you see, good people, listen up. The act of spraying baby oil in celebration has been described as absolutely diabolical. It's difficult to take some of these individuals seriously when they engage in such behaviors. It reflects a level of absurdity and a complete disconnect from the gravity of the accusations and convictions. This kind of public spectacle is nothing short of an embarrassment, especially when viewed against backdrop of the pain and trauma allegedly by those who came forward. The core question we must ask ourselves is, how is this a win? How is celebrating someone who has been found guilty of transporting individuals for prostitution and who still faces substantial jail term a victory? It seems that some people are simply celebrating the wrong things, prioritizing a perceived defiance or a superficial freedom, right? of course, doing this over genuine accountability and what we call moral integrity. The public's reactions also brings to light significant societal implications. The sources explicitly advises listeners to distance themselves from anyone, male or female, who expresses joy or celebration over Diddy's current legal status or perceived freedom. I think you've heard that lady was putting this crystal clear and absolutely right. The speaker argues that such as celebratory reactions suggest a profound moral or psychological flaw. Consider the normalization of abuse behavior. If men celebrate Diddy's freedom, it risks sending a message that they can do the same, of course, the same thing, and get away with it. This is incredibly dangerous. Why? It normalizes harmful actions and suggests lack of accountability, potentially emboldening others to commit similar heinous acts. And from my point of view, I feel like it fosters an environment where abuse is minimized, over, or even accepted. Then there is the perpetuation of harmful lifestyles and what's been called groupie culture. For women who celebrate Diddy's freedom, these speakers have been suggesting that they might either be accustomed to a lifestyle of involving abuse or are groupies. This points to a societal concern where individuals, particularly adults, might be seen as condoning or even admiring figures accused of abuse. It perpetuates a culture that overlooks or accepts such behavior, especially when it criticizes being a groupie of a man who has been abusive to women majority of his life. This implies a serious moral compromise for those who blindly support such figures. This whole situation reflects distorted moral compasses. And these speakers have been asserting that men celebrating his freedom are mentally, physically, spiritually messed up, indicating a severe moral failing. So the advice is to stay away from women who celebrate his freedom. Likewise implies a deeply flawed perspective. This suggests a broader societal implication where public figures and actions and the public's reactions to them can expose and reinforce problematic societal values regarding accountability, justice, and the treatment of others, including victims of abuse. Okay, so guys, you've seen this. You've seen how all this is going to. You've seen how the outcome is. They are celebrating, yet Diddy cannot even walk free because he was denied bail, and I think the case is still going on. And the people who are even celebrating, I don't know what's wrong with them, but I don't know what you think about this video. But tell me in the comment section, do you think that the judgment was fair? Diddy, out of 5 accounts, only Diddy getting 2, being charged with guilty with only 2 accounts, and the 3 accounts only being said that they are not, that he was not guilty. Tell me about it in the comments. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to turn on post notifications, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel so that we can become a family, we can become a community. Thank you for watching. It has been your boy for today, Sam, and this is the Diaspora View. Until next time, my people, peace out.